So next, we will show that multiplication in the natural numbers is commutative. That is, for any two natural numbers a and b, a times b is the same as b times a. So proof, let a be a natural number. Then, by the previous theorem, we have that a times 1 is the same as 1 times a. So the case b equals 1 is true. So now suppose that for some natural number k, it is true that a times k is the same as k times a. Then a times the quantity, k plus 1, is a times the successor of k, which by definition is a plus a times k. Now from our induction hypothesis, a times k is the same as k times a, so we have a plus k times a. And since addition is commutative, we have k times a plus a. And this is the same as k times a plus 1 times a, which by the distributive property gives us the sum k plus 1 times a. And so a times 1 is equal to 1 times a, and if a times k is equal to k times a, then that implies that a times the quantity k plus 1 is equal to the quantity k plus 1 times a. And therefore, by induction, we have that a times b is the same as b times a for any two natural numbers a and b. So we have demonstrated that the natural numbers together with multiplication is a commutative monoid. That is, for any two natural numbers, the product a times b is a natural number, and this again is the property of closure. We have demonstrated that for any three natural numbers, the quantity a times b times c is equal to a times the quantity b times c, and this is the associative property. And something a little different from addition, we have demonstrated that there exists the number 1 in the set of natural numbers, such that for any natural number a, we have that a times 1 is the same as 1 times a, which is a. And so this structure has an identity, in this case a multiplicative identity. The multiplicative identity is the number 1. It is the element in the set of natural numbers that we can multiply any other element, and it doesn't change it. And we have demonstrated that for any two natural numbers, a times b is the same as b times a, and again, this is the commutative property. Now, the first three properties makes the natural numbers under multiplication a monoid, and if we add commutativity, then we have a commutative monoid. So roughly speaking, a ring is an algebraic structure in which it is always possible to add, subtract, and multiply elements and remain in the structure, or in particular in the underlying set of the structure. And similarly, a field is an algebraic structure in which it is always possible to add, subtract, multiply, and divide elements without leaving the structure while remaining in the structure. So you probably have realized that in order to do calculus, you need to be able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide not only numbers, but rational functions. And the structure consisting of the natural numbers together with addition and multiplication is not a ring, since it does not have an additive identity and no element in the structure has an additive inverse. So, roughly speaking, this means that we cannot always subtract elements and remain in the structure. So let A and B be natural numbers. If A and B are the same number, then B minus A is 0, and 0 is not a natural number. And if A is less than B, then B minus A is less than 0. That is a negative number. And so B minus A is not a natural number. So it is not always possible to subtract elements in the structure consisting of the natural numbers together with addition and multiplication, because if the two numbers are either equal or one is less than the other, then there is a difference that is going to be negative, and that takes us outside of the structure. So our roadmap from here towards the real numbers is to go from the natural numbers, and we're going to first patch it by adding the number 0. And this structure, or this set, forms a structure under addition and multiplication that is a semi-ring, which is not quite what we want. So we're going to continue and use this set, the set of natural numbers together with 0, to generate or construct the integers. And the integers does form a ring under addition and multiplication. And in fact, it's a special type of ring that's called an integral domain. And then from the integers, we will construct a true field, the field of rational numbers. But this is not just any field. The rationals forms an ordered field. And then we're going to use not algebraic properties, but analytic properties to develop the real numbers. And the real numbers is a complete, or forms a complete ordered field. Now the website geeksforgeeks.org has a nice Venn diagram for the real numbers. The real numbers consist of both rational and irrational numbers. The rational numbers contain the integers, and the integers contain what are called the whole numbers, which are the natural numbers together with 0, and the whole numbers contain the natural numbers. Okay, so new definition. Addition in the set of natural numbers together with 0, which this set is sometimes called the whole numbers. Addition in this set is defined as in the natural numbers with a plus 0 is the same as 0 plus a, which is a for any element a in the set. So let's use this definition to demonstrate that the set of whole numbers, the natural numbers plus 0, is closed under addition. That is, for any two elements, A and B, in this set, the sum A plus B remains in this set. So proof. let A and B be whole numbers. We will consider 3 cases. Case 1, A and B are both 0. Then A plus B is 0 plus 0, which by definition is 0. And this is an element in the set of whole numbers. Case 2, at least one of the elements A or B is 0. Now, without loss of generality, we may assume that A is equal to 0. Then A plus B is 0 plus B, which by definition is B, and this is an element in the set of natural numbers together with 0. And finally, case 3, neither A nor B are 0. Then A plus B is a natural number, since the natural numbers is closed under addition, and this is a subset of the natural numbers together with 0. And so the sum A plus B is in the set of natural numbers together with 0. And therefore, for any 2 numbers in the set of whole numbers, the sum A plus B is a whole number. Okay, so as an exercise, prove that addition in the set of whole numbers is both associative and commutative. Okay, so we will end here for now. Next time, we will continue to develop the whole numbers and then use that set to construct the integers. So I hope you have enjoyed the 6th lecture. Thanks for watching.